Hey everyone, this is a little bit different from what I normally do. I haven't really made many Magic videos before. Normally I've made Yu-Gi-Oh videos in the past, but I play a lot of Commander, so I wanted to run over a few of my Commander decks, kind of what they do, and just get into it. This is one I made on my own, completely from scratch. I've built it up over a long time. It's a pretty fun deck. I'd say the power is probably a 7 out of 10. It's not competitive, but it'll get your mates at locals, and this does alright. So my commander for this deck is Samut, Voice of Dissent. Of course she is Naya because she is green, red and white. And how I've built her is effectively I've kind of made her into a tokens have haste deck. So instant speed tokens. She of course has flash herself. And I build up all these tokens. The tokens make a lot of mana, and then I do whatever from there to win. And I played, originally when I started making this, I played a lot of, played against a lot of removal, a lot of board wipes, and I've kind of tried to build around that whilst making this deck. So I'll just go quickly on the land. Ancient Tomb, Reliquary Tower, Cavern of Souls, Command Tower, Reflecting Pool, Keswick Wolfrun as what I call the special lands. That's also a win con in itself, Keswick Wolfrun, especially with Samut, because commander damage and double strike. I run filter lands, one of each of the Naya color filter lands. Sorry, it's a bit low there. Wooded Bastion, Violet Thicket, Rugged Prairie, Fetches, Arid Mesa, Windswept Heath, Wooded Foothills, Shocks, Sacred Foundry, Temple Garden, Stomping Grounds, Checks, Clifftop Retreat, Rootbound Crag, Sun Petal Grove, Jewel Lands, Tiger, Plateau, Savannah, and I have a lot of basic lands in here because I'll get into that later. So I run 2 plains, 3 mountains, and 5 forests, and that rounds out my land package. So I'll go around in the few different packages that I have in here, and there's a lot of little things that makes up. The first is a token orientated package, so Voice Resurgence, Avenger Zendikar, Reese the Redeemed. A lot of these cards are in Japanese because I bought them in Japan, which I've been a few times, and they were a lot cheaper when I got them. Rith's Charm, that's a really good card, people should look that up. It also doesn't target, so if your opponent has like hexproof on a Perforos, you can stop the Perforos from dealing damage that turn, which is really cool. Aura and Artifact Mutation, which are awesome cards because they destroy an artifact or enchantment, depending which one it is, and they give you tokens. Seed Spark, which kind of does the same but doesn't have the X. Alliance of Arms, Scatter the Seed, cool, it's Convoke. I was thinking about running one from Dominaria, but I think this is still better. Spidery Grasp against aggressive decks, gives a fog and it gives you spider tokens. Secure the Waste, instant speed. Sylvan Offering, always good in Commander to have a card which makes people want to attack you a little bit less. SRAM's Expertise, really cool again. Second Harvest doubles your tokens. Guiltleaf Ambush, this is really cool because if your opponent stacks their deck with say Vampiric Tutor at the end of your turn, you got a little bit of mana open, or end of someone else's turn. After they resolve that, you go Guiltleaf Ambush and you get rid of their stack card on top because you clash with them. It's instant speed elf, it's cool. And of course, to go along with the tokens generators there, we have the 4 double generators, which are Parallel Lives, Anointed Procession, Primal Vigor, and Doubling Season. I want to get the new artwork actually, the Battle Bond one, looks cool. Alright, so that's the token package. We'll go on to some of the draw support. So I run Sylvan Library, Skull Mulcher, Mentor of the Meek, Rishgard's Expertise, Harmonize, Shamanic Rev, and Skull Clamp. You make a lot of 1/1 tokens, so that's really good. They're all cards designed to assist you in drawing. If you don't know what any of these are, look them up. For a defensive package, I have Heroic Intervention, again Japanese, Boris Charm. Sometimes the double strike comes in handy in 4 damage, but not really. Usually use it for the indestructible. Privileged Position, that's a new addition to the deck. Eldrazi Monument, which also helps sometimes to win, but more it's just for the indestructibility. And Seed Time, this could be something else. I just have this in here against because people don't really expect you to play Seed Time in a green deck and get an extra turn. So it's a cool card. For a removal package, just a very small one, Aura Shards, which is amazing because I have lots of ways to search this out. Of course, the obvious white ones, which are Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile, and also run Return to Dust, just because sometimes I want to get rid of things by exiling. On a note, again, this is not competitive, this is more for a multiplayer kind of format. Geshenk Das Dalformer, so Still Shape is Gift. This brings me into my artifact package, which goes with Samut as well, which is Still Shape is Gift and Umezawa's Jite, Sword of Fire and Ice and Sword of Feast and Famine. Again, that just goes with the whole flash VG double strike haste kind of element that comes with having Samut. So 4 cards in there, which just sometimes win me the game out of nowhere because people can't block Samut and she's dealing like 10 commander damage. And let me draw 2 cards or something or untap on my land and cast instant speed shit. It's crazy. For a mana ramp package, Birds of Paradise, Bloom Tender, really cool card. I'll go over that one last. Harvest Season. Now again, one of the reasons why I have so many basic lands are, and I'll get into this, I'll put this aside to go back into this, make a lot of tokens, tap a lot of tokens, and I've had heaps of turns where I've been able to go like Harvest Season for 10 basic lands, and I just get all my basic lands out, and I'm so far ahead. I'll put this aside because I'm going to go into this later with a few other cards. Scarshard's Claim is cool, Chromatic Lantern, Grim Monolith, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Mana Crypt. Oh shit, that goes in my win. Oh, should be in there. And Mana Echoes. This is awesome. This is so good for making a lot of mana in this deck. And then just going off. On that note, I actually do have my proxies. I just had them in another deck. Yeah, if you don't know what Mana Echoes is, look it up. Really, really good in this deck. The last thing before I go to my win cons and explain a few other things about the deck are my tutors. So I have Recruiter of the Guard and Imperial Recruiter. I have Sterling Grove. This card is amazing, phenomenal in so many ways. I'm going to put this with Harvest Season and go over it later because it's a tutor that's really important. And it's a protection for my enchantments, which is also really, really important. Evolutionary Leap, Illidamery's Call, which is cool because it tutors for some other win cons. Enlightened Tutor and Idyllic Tutor again. They go into, they search out my win cons, just like Sterling Grove does, because it lets me get my enchantments. Which I'll go back into that in a minute. Alright, so one really quick instant win combo is I do run Kiki Jiki Restoration Angel. I don't run it for the combo for each other. I run it as support for my other cards like ETB for making tokens with Venture of Zendikar, and same with this. They just happen to be in there for other reasons. If I really wanted to make a deck for infinite combos, I'd make an infinite combo deck. They are here because they do infinite together, but that's not what they're in here for. They're in here for my other creatures to double them up. So, win cons. I'll put that at the bottom because they're more important. Simple win con, Triumph of the Hordes, make a lot of tokens, attack everyone with Infect, it's cool. Whiteley also goes with Appeal. So Appeal and Whiteley do the same thing where they just give a creature +X+X, that being Samut. And I think this gives Trample as well. Does this give Trample? No, this is +X+X. It doesn't matter. Still +X+X, and this is +X+X and Trample. Then a turn for the number of creatures I have. If I have like 100 creatures, Samut gets 100, +100, +100, and Trample for this one. Yeah, it's just lethal commander damage. That is the idea for that. Great off. Perfrost, you're making a heap of tokens. Perfrost is really cool. Tooth and Nail, because you can get a heap of things out of that. Hopefully people know what this does in Commander. And the more important win cons of the deck, one win con of that is Helix Pinnacle. Again, new addition for me, where the other two cards are the more important ones, Earthcraft and Cryptolith Right, which is where the deck kind of comes together. Again, I have Earthcraft, I'll just do that. This is where the deck kind of shines and why I said some of these cards are important from earlier, where Helix Pinnacle is, if you pay 100 mana to that, at the beginning of your next upkeep you win the game, so it's crazy. Earthcraft means that you can have tokens out and the basic lands, again another reason why you need so many, out, and you can tap your creatures to untap with this ability, to untap a basic land. Cryptolith Right gives your creatures, you tap them to add mana, so this gets around having to have haste, but this needs you to have haste. So this is a win con on its own, but you need to have the basic lands. But this one you need to have Samut out, or the creatures need to be out already. The idea is that these two here, which you search for a lot, will make your creatures able to tap for mana, especially with Samut out, and use that mana to cast all your spells and blah 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 blah. Hopefully you have like a mana doubler and you just keep going over and over, making more and more tokens with some things. Sorry, not mana doubler, token doubler. And kind of, yeah, that's kind of the idea of the deck. Again, Stealing Grove helps you search for these two in particular, so do these, and Harvest Season just happens to help if you have one of these early. You have all your creatures tapped, or you've managed to attack someone, or all your creatures being tapped down, and you can cast Harvest Season. You just get a heap of mana and ramp out. But yeah, so again, win cons. Triumph of the Horde helps by making a lot of tokens. So does Appeal, helps especially with Samut to kill someone. Quietly helps. Crater Hoof helps. Perforos helps. And yeah, that's the gist of this deck. I don't really know how to go over a lot of things with Commander because it'll take so long. But yeah, hope you like that, and don't forget to leave a comment if you want to chat about something. Anyway, have a nice day.